I said, okay. And as I opened, I saw this picture that reminded me of when I first allowed Spirit to move through me. And it was our very first women's retreat. I don't know, 7 years ago maybe. We had like 25 women going to a place that only had 4 beds. But it had lots of space, and it was beautiful. It was a wonderful experience, but there was a lot of details in preparing for activities for 3 days for 25 women. And so we went to Costco, and we bought food, and we planned, you know, activities that were deep and meaningful, and we made sure everyone had journals and glue sticks and fabric and food and porta potties and everything. It was very, very busy planning this and doing this, meanwhile still doing everything else. So we all know how that goes, right? You get totally stressed. And in the meantime, this was actually between Easter and Mother's Day, I had found out that my dad had cancer and only had a few weeks to live. And so, so it was just very stressful. And so I know we were doing all our activities, and then Cindy says, you know, on Sunday we'll do a little service. And I said, yeah, great. I think my mail didn't hear, you know. And so, because I thought that meant she was going to do the service. And so, you know, after a few days of not sleeping, you know, because we're on the floor, but it was beautiful. It was perfect. She goes, okay, well, you know, this morning, you know, after our meditation and yoga, you know, we're going to do a little service, so I want you to speak. And I went, what? You want me to speak? Oh, yeah. And did I respond, oh, I would love to speak to these women that I love and share my heart with them? I went, what? Don't you know I have nothing to say? Don't you know my dad's dying, I haven't slept in 3 days? And I literally stopped my feet and had a temper tantrum. Literally. I cried. I was in resistance. What could I possibly say to these women that would mean anything? And Cindy, our beloved leader, just took me and looked me in the eyes with that deep love and truth and said, just when you're ready, come on down and we'll start. So, I knew I couldn't say no. I mean, I didn't think about saying no because I knew it was something that I had to do. I knew it was the next step that was, she was playing the part for my next step to grow. And so, I waited and I cried and I stamped my feet some more, and finally, you know, there's nothing to prepare. I don't know. I just said, okay, God, I'm ready. I have no idea what I'm going to say. And that sense of peace just came over me. So I walked downstairs. We were on the back deck. It was beautiful. We did our divine dip, and then I came up, and I still have no idea what I said. I had not a clue what I was going to say. I don't remember anything that I said. I know there were tears, not by me, but, and I knew people came up to me after and told me how much that meant to them. But yeah, I still had no idea what I said. And so that was the first time that I could allow Holy Spirit to teach me and allow it to move through. You know, we all get ideas and we act on them. And sometimes we act sooner and later. But that was a turning point for me to trust. And yet, do I still go in resistance? Sure. Sometimes. Not like that. I don't stamp my feet anymore. So why is it so hard to be ready? When you're ready, come on down. Well, I'll get started. So, what if we all were so connected with our own feminine energy that we looked at each other and knew that divine wisdom was flowing through them for each other, and could trust that we all have the plan for our own life? What if we looked at each other and said, I know when you're ready, you'll get the answer, and you'll be fabulous. Instead of going, yeah, I won't do that. You know? What if we all could make an effort to be that, so connected with our own spirit, that when we do that, by right of vibration, we automatically help others by vibration connect with their own divine feminine and wisdom within each cell, each heart. It's very powerful. Very powerful. So, I said, so how can we make it easy? So Spirit gave me 4 steps. So the first one is to accept and welcome the divine energy. You know, when I first stood here and said, oh, we honor the divine feminine within all of us, and you guys went, oh, yeah. I mean, we know this, but it's not wisdom in us. Okay? So we need to accept and welcome the divine feminine aspect of God that moves through us, that lives in us, and our ability to channel that energy. So, I want you to repeat after me. I accept and welcome divine wisdom.
I accept and welcome divine wisdom.
Very good. Number 2, honor the divine feminine in my brother man. We look at each other like we know it's in there, and we know you'll get it. I honor the divine feminine in my brother man.
I honor the divine feminine in my brother man.
And listen. Sometimes we ask so many questions we can't hear the answers. And so by just listening to those nudges, urges, stirrings, symbols, words, listen. Listen. I listen to my divine feminine.
I listen to my divine feminine.
And then we need to be ready at any moment to act. Right? We want to be ready. We want to walk ready to receive wisdom in every little detail that we're doing. Because God knows. If we just rely on what we know, we're just going to create the same thing over and over. Divine mind creates the newness, new ideas that gives us the piece of the puzzle that we're supposed to be fitting into to create the oneness. So, I am ready to act on my divine wisdom.
I am ready to act on my divine wisdom.
Very good. How's that feel? Good. Okay, so I'd like all the women to stand. And men, I want you to hold your hands up. Look at all these beautiful men. I want you to hold your hands up, and we're going to bless the divine feminine. And Mother, Father, God, we ask a blessing on all these beautiful divine feminine energies that stand forth. We ask that they feel, sense, know, hear, and act on the wisdom that flows through you to them in their own lives. We ask that they trust as they experience and express your wisdom here on earth. Let their path be easy, filled with joy, love, wisdom, and power. And we thank you for standing forth as the feminine energy on earth. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay, women, sit down. Men, please stand up. Look at our beautiful men. How wonderful. Women, we are going to acknowledge the feminine energy, the wisdom, divine wisdom that flows through the men on earth. So men, just receive. Women, hold up your hands. Mother, Father, God, we ask a blessing on all the men here. We ask that they feel your love, your wisdom, your power. And we acknowledge that divine feminine energy flows just as strong through them. We ask that that wisdom unlock the key for movement in their own divine purpose. We ask that that communication be effortless and easy, that they hear, see, and know, that they be receptive, they use their intuition, and they trust as they walk on their path, fulfilling their purpose. And so it is. So how did that feel? So men, you knew you had divine feminine energy and you didn't you? Okay. All right, good. So hopefully we need to acknowledge, welcome, listen, and then of course the action is the male aspect to take it out. You know, we can get a lot of good ideas, but if they just sit there, they're not really serving. So it always takes all the qualities of God to move forward. We need the wisdom, we need the action, and then we need to take that action in love when we move. So let's just anchor it in a little deeper, okay? So just close your eyes. And just breathe. And feel the triune aspect of God quickening within every cell of your body. Feel your body being receptive to divine wisdom. Feel that love of God permeating every cell. And that power and force to take this wisdom out into the world. And just feel as that energy builds within every cell, in your consciousness, as it becomes a knowing within you. And with all these qualities, send love to the earthly mother that brought you here, that said yes for you. And now just send that love back to God, divine feminine mother, father energy. Thank you, God, for this life. As I now walk quickened and awakened and honoring every aspect of you in my life. You just feel your body being more receptive. Feel as that nurturing energy pours over you. And just let it feed you and sustain you. And know that you can feel that at any moment, at any time during the day or night. All you have to do is ask Be ready, receptive. Just take a nice deep breath. And feel your energy back in the room. And so, gently open your eyes. And so as we go forth this week, this month, we're focusing on being taught by God. And it's that feminine energy that teaches. So we can all make an effort to be receptive, listen, and be ready to take those teachings out into our world for our own purpose, for being part of the whole puzzle of the whole. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.